So I finally made it up to the boundary waters. I entered at the Moose River entry point and planned to make a loop over the course of about 5 days. My first goal was to go up the Moose River to Nina Moose Lake, portage to Lamb Lake, and camp at Ramshead Lake. It had rained all Monday night, but fortunately it stopped while driving to the Moose River entry point. I had been concerned that with the lack of rain we've been having, that maybe there would be an issue on the Moose River. However, other than the expected portages and a few beaver dams, I had no issues with low water. I went up the Moose River to Nina Moose Lake. From there I had to find the portage to Lamb Lake. Since this is an uncommon route, the portage wasn't worn in, wasn't as obvious. I was right in front of it and couldn't even see it for what it was. I recommend the Avenza app and downloading the BWCA maps. It gave me confidence to know I was near the portages that weren't totally obvious. I found the portage to Lamb Lake, had lunch, then proceeded to cross Lamb Lake and portage to Ramshead Lake. You always hear about how great and clean the water in the boundary waters is, but Ramshead Lake, the water was green. I camped here overnight on Ramshead Lake. Day 2, my goal was to camp on Oyster Lake. When I got up, everything was hidden in a thick fog, but it became clear that it was going to be a beautiful day because the sun punched through and burned off most of the fog within an hour or two. As I paddled on Ramshead to the portage, I got to see 3 otters wrestling and playing around. There is a portage alongside the Ramshead Creek that gets you to the Nina Moose River and then on to Lake Agnes. due to what I've read and the low water, I didn't bother trying to take the Oyster River all the way to Oyster Lake. Instead, I paddled to the 190 rod portage that cuts off the supposedly more difficult section of the Oyster River and puts you on the more navigable section. I camped on the peninsula in the middle of Oyster Lake. I chose the campsite that gives you access to both sides of the peninsula. In the morning and evenings, there's a beaver lodge very close to the site where you can watch the beavers come and go about their daily business. This lake also had the most loon action that I got to see on any of the lakes. I decided to take an easy day with no long, heavy portages. I stayed camped at Oyster Lake and did a little day trip over to Rocky Lake, where there is a small petroglyph on the west side of the lake. Well, I'm now over halfway through the trip, so I have to start making my way back. My goal was to camp at Nina Moose Lake. I made my way back from Oyster to Lake Agnes the way I came. The end of the portage that gets you to Agnes is actually Sandy Beach. The first few days of this trip were cold, but this particular afternoon was warm and sunny and a swim felt great. There were also like a half dozen swans swimming around in the area. I continued down to Nina Moose Lake where I planned to camp. This week, the wind and waters were generally calm. However, once or twice a day, and usually in the afternoons, the wind would really pick up. This afternoon on Nina Moose Lake was probably the windiest conditions I saw. It was really great to get off the water. I camped at the site between the Portage River and the Moose River mouths. It's a really nice campsite. As you pull up, it has plush grass just like someone's lawn. It rained a little overnight, but it was done by the morning and the water was nice and calm. It's the last day, so all I had to do was head back on the Moose River. I saw many beavers. I also saw a great blue heron fishing the river as well. In all, I think the total loop was about 27 miles with about 1,800 rods of portaging in that. So over about 5.5 miles of portaging. If you don't see enough wildlife on your BWCA trip, check out the wolves at the International Wolf Center in Ely. You can also see black bears at the North American Bear Center in Ely. And if you go to the North American Bear Center, be sure to do the nature walk outside there because the chickadees are very friendly and will eat right from your hand.